And we should be live right now. Good evening, everyone. We're back, second night of our Hankumdo course. Welcome. I've posted on Facebook a few things that we're gonna do today. So those are the first six consonants of the Korean alphabet. But first I'm going to run you through a few things that we already did yesterday. So it will be the drawing of the sword, the reseating of the sword, and the basic strikes. So I hope you're as enthusiastic as I am. We got a lot of positive response from this, and today we introduced a new feature. This coronavirus outbreak really makes us creative. If you want to, especially like if you want to learn more about Hankumdo or maybe Hankido, other self-defense related things, it's now possible to take online private classes with my friend, our international instructor, Kozawan. It's just, for Europeans, it's like €9 for 30 minutes. So install the app Kakao Talk, and then you can talk. He will give you tips on how to improve your technique. It's far from perfect, but I'm sure that in the future we'll do more things like this because, well, I told before, actually I was supposed to be in Brazil right now, but things like going to Brazil, that's something I would do like every few years or something. But hey, getting online, seeing each other, exchanging techniques, talking about it, demonstrating, it's a new modern age, so why not? Thanks for coming. I don't have my assistant David tonight, so there's no one in the chat to talk to. It also means that I will do some of the technique on my own. So here I start. I have to turn off this Hankumdo now, and I'm going to run you through the basics that we did yesterday. First thing we did, paldo, the drawing of the sword, previously known as shigom. So from a basic position, your feet about shoulder width apart, make yourself comfortable. Sink a little bit into your legs, like knees. Keep your back straight, grab the sword, and when you do it, bring the scabbard forward. And Korean word for scabbard was kaljin. Then what you do with your left hand, you pull back the scabbard and the sword forward. Make sure that you keep the tip in front of you. One thing I failed to mention yesterday is the position of your wrist. So when I take the sword out, and if I got my wrist like this, so if I got my hand pointing up or pointing down, that's not a good position. The top of your forearm and the top of your hand should be one line. So don't let your hand sink down, don't keep it up. So one more time, we're standing here, just slowly sink into your legs, bring the kaljib forward, and then in one fluent motion, pull back the kaljib, push forward the sword a little bit, one, and you've got it forward here. Then you've got the tip in front of you, keep the tip where it is, bring the sword forward here. From this position, straight forward is okay, or a little bit up. If looking at Bob over there, I would point the tip of my sword towards his throat. Then we saw that we can do paldo also with a step. So you can like step forward, and while you do it, you already push kaljib out, and then forward, 1, 2, 3. And first, you're doing it just step by step, and later on, you want to do it in a more fluent and fast motion. If you can step forward, you can also step back. This usually gives you more space, so if the opponent's already coming at you, here, give yourself a little bit more space. So we would say is that this one, going forward, is an offensive way. I'm like attacking with my draw, and stepping back is a defensive way. I'm protecting myself. As I told yesterday, keep your sword in between yourself and your opponent, it also acts as a shield. Then we saw that the basic one, supyong horizontal, is when I pull the kalji back, I'm making a 90-degree turn, and that gives a horizontal draw. But I can also not turn the kalji at all, one, and then you get a vertical one here, like this. Or I can make a 180-degree draw, so I'm bringing the kalji forward, and then when I'm pulling it back, I'm turning it 180 degrees, and that brings the sword up. The basic one for us is the horizontal one. Okay? Then we get the resheathing of the sword, so putting the sword back into the kalji. So you're taking it out, 1, 2. The basic one is, here's the opening of the sword, then bring your sword in front of it, like it crosses with the opening, pull it all the way to the side until you feel, hey, the tip now enters kalji, then bring it forward, and now again, push forward your kalji, and then when your kalji and sword meet, that's when you step back and bring the sword back. Preferably then bringing your hand, like resting it on the pommel here, so that keeps you, for other people from taking the sword from you. And then the little bit more advanced way, 1, 2, that's where you bring the sword in line with the opening. So first I crossed the opening, now it's in line with the opening. I'm bringing it forward, here. Another thing that's important is you don't want your fingers to touch the sword. So let me come forward. So you don't want like your fingers around, like doing something like this. Preferably just keeping it on there and not touching it. Especially important when you've got a real sword. You don't want your steel blade to get like sweat from your hands. It's not good for the material. It will have become rusty earlier, and you have to do more maintenance on your sword. And actually, this way here, it's much easier to do the drawing, the returning of the sword without touching the blade. And I also said, look, in the beginning, just like bring it from the root here all the way here, but later you just need just a little bit here. Okay. There's a ton of other ways to put the sword back. Well, this 5-day course is just about the basics. This is the basic way to draw the sword. Okay, then we went on to the strikes. Basic strike, neriabegi, the vertical strike. So get ready, take the sword out. Okay, you're bringing the sword up, not all the way here. Don't want to open yourself. You don't want your elbows sticking out. You also don't want your forearm in front of your face because, well, you can't see what's happening. So you're bringing your arms up here, keeping your shoulders low. So don't bring your shoulder up. Shoulders stay relaxed here. And I've said in previous videos as well, if the best way to keep your shoulders relaxed and low is by keeping your elbow low. When my elbows go up, my shoulders come up, and there's like too much tension, and you don't want that kind of tension because you want to be able to move fast. Here, one other important thing, keep your left hand closed. So not open, not just no fingers sticking out, definitely not. So keep your left hand closed. Move forward, and then just with your left hand, bring it down here and make a strike. Okay, so up and just drop the sword down. Keep the weight in your front leg. So when you're bringing the sword up, forward, strike, so the weight here is in my front leg. Now when I go back, step back with my rear foot. Here and also I'm trying to keep my weight in my my front leg here. So don't step back and do this and that. Another thing, really, like just let the sword just drop. Nothing is Looks worse than a guy that's doing this. No. Keep your upper body straight when you hit. So keep your upper body straight. From the Nelia baggy, then we went to Picchia baggy, the diagonal strike down. And of course there's two variations, from the upper left corner to the lower right and the other way. So draw with the sword. I'm going to do one version, the version that gives away less, so 1 foot forward. Then, so now my left foot is going forward, bringing my left arm in when I strike, and that gives a diagonal strike. Or when I step forward with the right here, so now I've got my right foot forward, then bring in my right elbow when I strike, and that gives my diagonal strike. No swinging like this, but up, one elbow, tuck it in, down, and make sure. No swing through, but no. This, strike, and stop. And we don't, here also not too much. Back, don't open up the front. Again, keep the sword in between you and your opponent, and it also acts as a shield. From Nelia baggy, Picchia baggy, then we went to Supyong baggy, and I told you there was three kind of Supyong baggy. Hadan, high, hori, waist, and Sangdan is low, and the basic one we do is the hori baggy. So it's a horizontal strike at waist level. So again, take out the sword. Now you assume a horse riding stance for the basic exercise. Bring your sword to the right, your right elbow tucked into your body, and first just learn 1, 2, 3 to cut from the waist. So not 1, 2, 3. This is striking with my arms. I want to use my weight. And 1, in the beginning you say flip it over. Later you want to keep this one like this line. There should be almost no shaking. And let's say there should be no shaking at all. And just as with our Hankumdo, it's not just twisting the waist, turning the waist. It is shifting your weight, then turning. And be careful not to stretch this leg. Again, this breaks down your body structure, something that we don't want. Like 1, so move your weight, turn, move your weight, turn, move your weight, turn, move your weight, turn. You can also do the horizontal strike 1, 2, and stepping forward. Or on the other side, 1, 2, stepping forward. Also, now be careful not to want to bring it all the way back and then strike. It's almost as if you sword forward, 1, 2. You only need this part. You're not killing an elephant, your opponent isn't fat like this. Maybe this is all you need. So no need to do something like this. Just 1, 2. Here, this is enough. Keep your shoulder, so don't strike 2, not something like this, but 1. So Nelia baggy, Picchia baggy, hori baggy, or Supyong baggy. Next one diagonally up, Urja baggy. So draw your sword. 1, 2, and now again use your waist. But you have to make this turning of the waist. Your arms have to turn it into a straight line. If I don't do that, it's just turning, then pulling my sword makes a round motion like that, and that doesn't give a clear cut. So 1, my turning power from my waist here is converted into a straight line. The other side, 1, 2, turning of the waist, but your sword strike should be a straight line if you want to make it a clear cut. The last basic strike we did yesterday is actually it's not a strike, chirigi. It's a stab. So draw the sword. Most basic one. Right foot is already forward. Just slide forward, turn the sword for the strike. Or if you want to step out, turn it here. Push it out, but again, mind your rear foot, don't overextend it. Okay, something that I touched upon yesterday, but not that much. First was with like paldo, so the drawing of the sword. So we can do it without step, one step. You can do it two step, or you can do it three steps. Then you come 1, 2, 3, and then already the strike is incorporated into the technique. The same thing, it's quite basic for Hankumdo. So when you do the availabe, 1, so we have the one step, and we have the three steps. So 1, so you're stepping forward, second step, sword goes up, and the third step, you make your strike. So this is 1, like on my first step, I'm kind of like pushing my sword already forward for the person to come. Then in my second step, I'm bringing my sword up and strike. The up, if I can do this, it's like a little arm, but just think a push with your left one arm. Go. Push with your left arm. This gives like this faster motion. So don't bring arm up, strike, but 1, 2. So push your left hand forward. Keep it closed, of course. 1, 2, and strike. The same thing. Pikabegi. So 1, 2. You can do it. Basic is one step, but also 1, 2, 3 step. And that's a little bit more advanced. Yesterday I also said our basic pikabegi is to the open side. Like cutting over your leg is a more advanced technique. So if I do, 1, 2, 3, this one is easy. Because my right foot always starts forward, so I want to do it on the other side. 1, 2, 3. So now I have to strike over my front foot. Okay. So far, it's like the rehearsal of what we did yesterday. First, okay, our basic strike usually starts like we start with 1 foot forward here, 1 foot forward. But when we do our Hankumdo, so all the letters that we're going to do, we start like this forward. So first we've got, so we need like a certain way of stepping. Boheng is steps. So first one is easy. I'm going to my right. I'm stepping 1, 2, and back 1, 2, and also to my left 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm going to do it with strike when I go out. It's like 1, 2, back, and now to the left 1, 2, and back. So 1 and back, 2 and back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I can do a strike at every step. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the Ilchinki Boheng, it's like one step. Then there's also the 3 step. So without strikes, it's 1, 2, 3 and back. 1, 2, 3. Or to the left. 1, 2, 3. And to the other side. 1, 2, 3. And then I can do it with strikes. And you get like 1, 2, 3, and back, and to the left, 1, 2, 3, and back. Let's do that one more time. 1, 1, 2, 3, and back. Left, 2, 1, 2, 3, and back. And we do strikes on all the steps. Together, 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, 3. Left, 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, 3. The thing is, you have to have 1, 2, a little bit low, and when you strike, you come up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So these are the 1-step and 2-step exercises for going sideways. Okay. Once in a while, you're seeing some on that side, Bob's side, something pop up. One is the the name of our Instagram. So if you want to follow us there, please do. Then there's one with the WhatsApp. That's my number. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can use WhatsApp, and the other one is my Kakao Talk ID. If you use Kakao Talk, it's like a Korean WhatsApp for people who don't know. You can use that one as well. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Of course, you can also use the Facebook page is that we use to communicate. Just pointing out, hey, there's a lot of ways you can reach us. Let's continue to the writing, and for that I have to get a little bit technical. And there, what you see here on that side is the Korean letter Giok. So the name of the letter is Giok. The sound is a G, like when you write something in English, and when it starts with the letter G, so like G. Yeah, so this G is the letter that you use. It's not a K like in my name, Klaas. It's like that's like a hard K. It's like aspirated. It's stronger. It's like a soft G. So when you see this letter, it means it has the sound G. The name is Giok. So the name is Giok. That's why the technique go Giok baggy. Baggy is strike. Giok, name of the technique. So Giok baggy. Okay. When we learn this, we would always do the letter like normal, like the way you would see it, and then we would also do it mirrored. So today I'm not going to do the mirrored versions, just the normal version. We have to keep things simple, and we only have 4 days to go through all 24 techniques, and already I've been talking for 23 minutes, so that leaves us ample time to actually practice this letter. So like I said, when we do the Hankumdo, you start with your feet pointing forward. So sink a little, bring your scabbard forward, pull it back, draw the sword out, here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to block here, and then I'm going to make the diagonal strike stab. What I am doing now is I'm doing it mirrored to show you, look, this is where the letter starts, and then I'm going in the other direction. But actually, so the normal way for me would be to do this one, and then make the strike. From a technical point of view, if I'm here, and now I have to make a nice pichobegi, so it's usually people do something like this, which is like a very round motion, probably so your sword isn't going straight through the target. So be careful with that. So you bring it up here, pull in your elbow, and make your strike. Shoulders low. 1, 2, and eventually you can turn that into one motion. 1, 2, back. When you step back, I'm blocking. When I step back, I'm twisting the blade inside. 1, and then straight again forward. I'm going to turn around and then do the letter a few more times. So I hope that makes it clear. This is giok begging. Good. I hope you all took the time to go through the documents that I put on Facebook and that I send out. Yeah? Really, really, again, write them down, write them down, write them down. When you learn how to write them down, it becomes a lot easier to actually remember them. It makes no sense if you're going to what I sometimes saw. I remember a number, then people come up, hey, this fifth letter, do you know how it goes? I'm like, oh, you mean that one? No, just, you don't have to remember the names, so I think it's already quite hard to just know that, oh, this letter sound is g, and this letter sound is n, and that letter sound is d. So you don't have to know giok, nian, digit, although it would really help you if you continue with this. But usually to make it easier, what we do, so we take the sound of the consonant, is that English or American English? I've got no idea. So, and then you put it a behind it. So then we call this one ga. Then the next one will be na, and then the next one will be da. That's quite easy. Well, the first one is ka, na, da. Should have no problem remembering that. So just take the sound of the letter and put that's the first vowel of the Korean alphabet, the a, put the a behind it. So you can also call this ga baggy. Yeah? So this is like the giok baggy, but ga is a little bit easier to remember. But again, put the sounds into your head. It's just 14 of them for the consonants and just 11 for the vowels. Shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, I'm going to put my sword back. So the next letter, so this is the ga, the giok, the g sound. And then the next one is the n sound, the n from nice. The name is nian, but we can call it na. As you can see, it starts first down, and then we're making a horizontal strike. So draw the sword, one, and first I'm going to do it mirrored, so that means one, first I'm making the strike down, and then supyeong begi or hori begi to finish it off. So the sword goes up, and while I do it, I step out a little bit, and I'm sinking a little bit. Then when I make my strike, this foot closes, I'm bringing my body up, and while my body goes up, the sword goes down, then I step out and finish the letter. But now I have to do it in the right order. It's like up, and when I do it, it's like 1, 2, and then a strike to the left. So if you do the real nian, the real na, you're going to the left. So 1, 2, and return. And when you return, play it in and straight again. I'm going to turn around again, and let's do the nian together. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that is the letter N, nian or na, the N from nice. So let's go to the ga and the na together. So we're starting, draw the sword, first ga, and now na. I'm going to turn around again, and then it's probably easier to follow. Ga, and back, and na. Ga, na. Okay, third one, digud, da, the D from dog. There it is. Okay, as you can see, D is already getting a little bit more complicated. It starts with a strike it, and every time, if you see the letter, and you see it starts with like a horizontal bar at the top, usually it's a block. Okay? And actually every vertical line that you see will always be a availabe, so a vertical strike down. And when the horizontal strikes are lower, then it's always availabe. So here we go, 1, 2. So now I have to start with the block. First I'm going to do it mirrored so it looks better for you. So I'm going to make my block, back, strike. Now I'm going to do it right, so it means you're going forward with your right foot, you're making your block. And again, when you make your block, push out with your left hand. And the block should be above your head. It makes no sense to make your block here. So you're stepping forward with your right foot, block. Then bring the sword back and you retreat and make your strike. And Sukyan ready to return. One more time. Hello. So block, strike, strike, return, and Hankumdo. I'm going to turn it around again. Hello. So right foot forward, block, strike, one more time. Block, strike, strike, and Hankumdo. A good custom is to do Hankumdo before every strike and in Hankumdo every time you're finished. But usually when you're class and you're talking and teaching and doing other things, sometimes I forget, but a better habit would be every time draw the sword, make a technique, return the sword to the scabbard, and then go on to the next exercise. But especially when you don't have a scabbard or kaljib, yeah, then comes a little bit more difficult, and you're not thinking about it because the kaljib is not there to remind you. But one more time, the best thing is every time start with Hankumdo and every time finish with Hankumdo, and do it consciously. So really think about what you do. Don't just like, oh, 1, 2, oh yeah, the sword has to go out, oh, and now it has to go in. It also doesn't mean that like you have to be like, oh, I mean, not when it's when I have a say in it, but just 1, 2, just remind yourself the sword. And usually what we see is that people, of course, you start with mokon, like with the wooden sword, and then it goes, oh, without any problem, and then you give them a real sword, and suddenly they're like, oh my god, I've got like a real sword right now, this thing is dangerous. And then they really get like thrown back again to the beginning. Oh wait, no, careful. So this careful mindset, keep it a little bit, please. Okay. Then, so we have the ga, na, da. The next one, ra, or real. I'm going to turn it on again. So now you see in the top, it actually, there's a small ga, a small giok. So we're going to start with a giok, but when you're writing, like I said, when there is an horizontal line and you're writing with your pen, horizontal lines are always drawn left to right. And when Korean kids learn to write their letters, they are taught never ever start on the right side of the paper and then draw to the left. It's always left to right. So when you see a character and it has a horizontal line and it's not the top line, which is usually blocked. It always goes from left to right, from left to right. So I'm going to do it first like in reverse, so you can see clearly how it goes. First line. I'm starting with ga, elbow in my side, 1. So now I have to make the bottom one. So first I have to return my sword, and then I can make another hurry beggy. So let me do that one more time. So up. Let me see, I have to make like a reverse K. 1, horizontal, I have to return it, and one more time. Okay. Now I'm going to do it for me in the correct way, but it means that you will see it mirrored. So I'm 1, making the ga, strike here, strike there, and back. No, wait a minute, now I'm making a ka and then go in this direction and again here. Doing it opposite mixes me up. So here we go. I'm making the ga, strike, return, strike. I'm going to turn around. Ga, holy baby, return, holy baby. Ga, holy baby, return, holy baby. One more time. Ga, holy baby, holy baby. It's a tricky one, this one. We're going to repeat. So we had the ga, na, da, ra, giok, nien, digit, rier. It's all in the document that you can find on our Facebook page. I'm going to turn around, so we're going to do 4 letters. In between every letter, haldo, napto. Haldo, ga, napto, haldo, nien, 1, 2, napto, digit, hallo, block, strike, holy baby, napto, real, hallo, ja, holy baby, holy baby. Napto. Okay. Already 4. Ga, na, da, ra. Next one, ma. And the name of the letter M is mium. The previous letter, by the way, I didn't really touch upon the pronunciation. It's either a R or a L. Yeah? It's never a rolling R, as we have in Dutch. Never like that. More like the English R at the end of a word. So like R, or, and that's usually because Korean is written in syllables. When the syllable ends in a real, and the other syllable starts with a real, it becomes the L sound. As a rule of thumb, you can say if a syllable starts with the R, then with the real, it's the sound is R, and when it ends, the sound is L. So R or L, R or L. Let's not make jokes about that. So this one, mium, M, just like our M for mama, mother. Again, I'm going to start. Oh, and this one is kind of easy. As you can see, it starts with a vertical strike, then the ga is glued onto it, and then we've got a horizontal strike. So like the three basic strikes that we use to write this is like neria bego, pikya bego, haribegi. So let's do that one. I'm going to first do it mirrored, just for you to show. So, haldo. I'm making 1, 2, 3, and return. Let me do it one more time. I'm making neria begi, then I'm making pikya begi, and then haribegi, and return. Going to turn around. One, 2, 3. Not go. Hello? One, 2, 3. Not go. One more time. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Not go. Okay, so that's the M. Miyum. Ganadarama. Already 5. One more to go. The next one. Beer. It's a B, and just as in English and also Dutch, by the way, when a syllable starts with a B, it's a B sound. But when it's at the end of a word, it always becomes a P sound. So when you've got like the word bob or method, Hankumdo bob. Yeah, so you have b, op. So you can either look. Again, at the beginning of a syllable it's a B, or like in Dutch or English, beginning of a word is a B. If it's at the end of a word, it's a P sound. Either B or P. Bob, bop, words like that. This one, as you can see, it starts with one vertical line, the other vertical line, and then we get a horizontal line and horizontal line. Now you might think, oh, so what we're going to do is I'm making a vertical line, and then I'm making 2 horizontal strikes. But that's not what we're going to do, because how to say this? In English, when you see a lot of words, it is in like print letters. Yeah? But when you're writing, you've got like cursive writing, like you glue certain parts of a letter together to make it more fluent. Koreans do exactly the same thing. So if a Korean guy would write this, he would go like 1, 2, and then just make a circle. So we're going to do that. Vertical strike, stab, and we're going to pull the sword back and then make our horizontal strike. Again, first I'm going to do it mirrored so you can see how it goes. Let me see how to do it starting on this side. So, haldo, vertical strike, stab, pull the sword back, and now I'm making my horizontal strike. Okay, so then I've got like vertical, let's call this like a tip, and then 1, 2, or actually it's not 1, it's more like pulling it back for the next strike. Not done. Now I'm going to do it for me in the right order, and then you will see it mirrored. 1, 2, so it's vertical strike, neria begi. Now my right foot goes forward for the stab, pulling it back, finishing off with a horizontal strike. And finish with Napdo. I'm going to turn around again. Thank you very much, Mick. So over here. One, two, step forward, step, pull back, and go. Not go. Again, hello. One, two, step, step, back, and horizontal, not down. Last time. Hello. One, two, stand, pull back, horizontal strike. Return and not down. Okay. So now we've had all the six letters that we're going to do today. Ga, na, da, ra, ma, ba. Giok, mien, digit, riel, mien, pier. Let's repeat some of them. Turning this one off. So I'm going to turn around. We'll start with paldo, giok, napdo. So draw the sword, make the technique, return the sword, and we're going to all six of them. Paldo, ga, napdo, na, paldo, napdo, da, paldo, walk, strike, strike, return, napdo, ra, paldo, ga, horizontal, horizontal. Notice, so on this, I'm making the first strike. Then when I'm making my strike, I step out. When I bring the sword back, I'm not stepping. And then on my strike, I step again. So only when I strike, I make the steps. Napdo. Ma, mien. Hello. Step, step, step. Napdo. And ba. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Pull back. Strike. Napdo. Okay, so far so good. Let me see. I think there is, yeah, here's the consonant chart. So we've been doing the line above. So like ga, na, da, and then ka, na, da, ra, and then ma, ba. So giok, nien, digit, riel, mien, bier. The g, the n, the d, the r, the m, and the b. Yeah, so then tomorrow we can do the following 6, which will be the iang first. Hey, there's a little mistake there. The iang and the shield should be okay. I'm going to fix that one. So Anyway, we're going to do the next 6, still at 6. So we get like the circle that you see, the little, how we call it, roof of the house, then the other 2, and so only the lower 2, the peep in the here, we're not going to do. Yeah, small mistake in that chart, but nothing big. I will fix it. So please, at home, take a paper, take a pen, start writing these things. If you know the stroke order on paper, it's a lot easier to remember the strike order with your sword. Let me turn this one off. And then, so again, this is more for the vowels later. But as you can see here, like the dot, it represents a stab. And of course, the horizontal line represents a horizontal strike, and the vertical line what is a vertical strike, and then usually we use the diagonal strike as well, and sometimes a block. But all in all, you just need about 5 strikes. But there are a lot more strikes and a lot more techniques that we later cover in certain forms that we do and stuff like that. It's very wide, very deep subject to study. And again, like this week, we're just touching on the basics. But if your basics are good, then the rest should be good as well. Again, I'm open for questions. The video will stay online, so if you want to like look again, what's like the stroke order, how should I do these techniques, bookmark the videos. They will stay unlisted, so they will never become available for other people to watch. So if you need them for future reference, I would say bookmark them, and then you can use them as a tool to learn these strikes and these techniques. I've had fun today. I hope you had as well. Again, drop me a line, please, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. Thanks a lot.